Hi, I'm the host of Optometry Profits Revealed, Peter Precht, and today I'm here doing a quick interview with Phernell Walker. Thank you so much for being here, Phernell.
Yeah, thank you for having me here, Peter. I'm excited to be here. Yeah.
So we'll dive right in. So what made you pursue optical?
I knew I wanted to get an optical at an early age. To make a long story short, when I was young, I grew up kind of a poor kid in St. Petersburg, Florida, and my neighbor would take care of me in the evenings while my mom was going to school. And one day, walking around her garden, I was pointing out flowers, and to my surprise, as a 5-year-old kid, I handed one of the flowers up to her, and I said, "Look at this one! Isn't this great?" And she said, "I can't see it because I'm blind."
Ooh,
Yeah, and as a 5-year-old kid, you can imagine, I had never heard of a blind person before, and I
right.
never really knew, Peter, what caused her blindness, but I knew what I wanted to become. I knew I could make a difference someday, somehow, some way.
That's huge.
Yeah,
The empathy is massive with all children at that age, and here it is hitting you, like a large bell going off in a
yeah.
way. Yeah, that's an impactful story right there. So where were you trained and educated?
Yeah, great question. So after I got out of the service, I basically wanted to work my way back into eye care, and I went to Bryman College in San Francisco, California, and I lived
Nice.
there and went to college there at a non-accredited school there called Bryman College, and I did
Hmm.
that for it was an 8-month program, and then made my way back to Florida and Texas. And during that time, someone said to me, "Fernell, why don't you go back to school and get your degree in optics?" And I thought, you know what, let's do it because there's got to be more. And
Right,
I went back and got a 2-year degree in ophthalmic optics from Hillsborough Community College in Tampa, Florida.
right.
Yeah.
Awesome. That is awesome. When was the moment that you fell in love with opticianry?
That defining moment happened for me when I was learning Prism, and that was from the first school that I mentioned before. And I have a certain passion for Prism, and I thought about how just the concept and the idea that we could move objects in three-dimensional space and really help people with strabismus and other problems. That just really stuck with me, and everything just made sense to me. And it came to me like just just a light just came on, and this aha moment. And ever since then, I've had this amazing passion for optics, and then magnification, and then some of the other things that we could do. It just really defined me as a person, and really inspired me. Yeah,
You're well known for teaching Prism
yeah,
uh, to making it relatable.
yeah. Thank you.
In my past, those were the most impactful experiences I saw when I could see an optician go back and forth with an optometrist around Prism and actually visually fix a problem for someone that they could not fit. What the person couldn't see properly at all. You see that look on your face. It's like you totally get it. You've been
Oh
down
yeah,
there,
yeah,
and the passion of that is it still gives you goosebumps. I think that's yeah. It is part. It's a huge part of why we do what we do. But tackling the bigger part or the understanding it at a better level, that's one thing. But being able to teach it is something else. So why would you say you're passionate about eye care? And
Passionate about eye care, really, because it kind of goes back, Peter, to that moment
right,
of helping my neighbor May. Mae. May was her name. She was probably about 80 years old. She passed away, and she kind of guides me to this day. And I think about honoring her and helping people. And no matter where you're from, simple beginnings like myself, growing up as a really poor Head Start kid, you can do well in this profession. And I really view it as a profession versus an industry. And the sky's the limit with eye care. I mean, there's so much we can do, as an optician, as an optometrist, as a technician, and then those subspecialties within that are just
right.
exciting. Yeah.
They are exciting because
Yeah.
they're going in so many different directions. The remote capacities that are popping up, not just with optometry, but with opticianry and the things that people are able to do, keep those connections at a
Yeah.
far away level. And then Do you have a mentor story, or something that you could kind of say? Look, what made you you? Outside of that moment right there is hugely impactful when you're young, and I can see how it pulled you in to this. I completely relate to that. But tell us something that kind of made you you, and then talk about a mentor that jumps out.
Yeah, a mentor that jumps out for me since my father passed away when I was very, very young. I had a male figure in my life. I call him my stepdad, and he was actually my band director. And his name is Arthur Hansold, and I call him Doc because he has a PhD in music. Long story short, I really spent time with him, a lot of time with him on the weekends, and watching how he communicated and interacted with people, and it made an impact on me. And on weekends, he would take me to different jazz concerts, which I still love playing trumpet to this day. And just the time spent with him and really changed my life and showed me that I could be more impactful and give back to the planet and myself and humanity beyond just what I was doing. And he really mentored me to be the person I am today. And I'll never forget what he did for me. So.
I think that's awesome. A lot of the interviews I do, obviously the mentoring is reflective of the industry, but you hit on a personal chord that this is somebody that opened up all of that availability for you.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I wouldn't have had that before, and I would be a very different person today if it weren't for him.
Right. If you don't honor where your perspectives come from, I mean, what do you do? What are we doing here? We have to give some homage to those that mentored us in a lot of ways. We have mentors in different ways. We have mentors in our optical career and in our personal lives, but you're right. When you talk about the most impactful ones, and you talk about how he was able to, especially bring in music.
Yeah, absolutely. And it really connects the human element. And just from an optics standpoint, I've always had a respect for history. And whenever we approach the world, obviously he's much older than me. He's 82 now. He would approach things from history. I mean, from a historical standpoint. And I kind of approach optics the same way. And I think about the richness of what opticians have done and the things that we can do for humanity to make a difference, and beyond just being typecast as, hey, I'm putting in a screw in a frame or I'm adjusting a frame. You're doing those things, but you're doing much more than that, than just giving physical vision. You're giving sight, right? You're giving the ability for that person to do what they want to do in the world and to really live a full life. And that's so fulfilling. Yeah.
It completely. Let's connect what you just said to where you're going. Where we started off talk about that for a minute, because that is so awesome. Tell us where you're going.
Yeah, well, it is. I'm so excited, Peter. I am going to be representing the United States of America at Silmo, Singapore, in just a few weeks at the end of April. So I'm really excited about that. I'm going to some other great places as well. I'll be in Pennsylvania, as everybody knows, coming up. Really excited about that to see there. But on the international stage, going to Silmo and representing the whole United States eye care, all of opticianry, optometry is fantastic. Serving on the faculty. There I'll be teaching lens cosmesis, blending optical theory with cosmetic lens design, and how we can take different geometric shapes of lenses and substrates and create the most amazing eyewear possible with using lens technology and so forth. I'm really excited about that. But just to have the honor and the privilege to represent the United States and bring my pure optics method, my book, to the folks in Singapore, there'll be about 30,000 people there, is exhilarating.
I'm very curious to see what the questions are like that come to you, there versus here or whatnot, but I just think that's incredibly exciting. But what an opportunity to speak for an industry, and I can't think of a better person to do it. You're poised to do it. This is a great time. Thank you so much for this interview. This has been exactly what we were hoping to do, and we want to translate this out to as many people as possible to relate who the speakers are, what they're about, but especially where they're going. And the work that you're doing now and going forward is completely amazing.
Well, I'm honored to be here. Thank you, Peter, for taking your time to meet with me and get to know me and so forth. And just all the opticians out there and eye care professionals in general, optometrists, opticians, ophthalmology, and technicians. Never give up that passion and your dream, and never forget your reason why you got into this wonderful profession. I can't thank you enough, Peter. Thank you.
Precisely. Yeah, I'm looking forward to podcasting with you too. That's absolutely awesome. Well, this has been a quick interview with Peter Precht, the host of Optometry Profits Revealed. Thank you so much. Take good care, everybody.